Howdy folks, today we're playing a unique Tatyova Lands deck built around Tatyova and a bunch of lands and also Titania, Voice of Gaia. Pretty exciting. Shout out to MBalrog6 for submitting the deck, and let's get into it. Okay, opponents are going first again, but this hand looks to be better than the last one, I guess. I don't know. We're having trouble getting all our colors of mana for sure. Like if this hand had a Spara's headquarters, we'd be feeling really good about it. Alas, it does not. Opponent is on a Reckoner, Bankbuster shenanigans. Okay. Get this Merge Keeper down. It's not modified though, but next turn we can get a Cartographer Survey down. Opponent developing their mana. Okay. Not gonna be able to get a Cartographer Survey down. Gonna be able to get a Joint Exploration down though. I'll pass. Not sure if our opponent has counter spells in their deck. Kind of just feels like they're good stuff deck with Reckoner, Bankbuster, Celestis, probably some Wandering Emperor they'll keep up here. Yeah, keep up Wandering Emperor with a 4 mana. Just drawn straight away. Okay, and we'll kick this. Tatyova. I think we need to have a bigger spell next turn, honestly. I think we want to keep lands. The land into play. I think, yeah, I'm going to play this Cartographer Survey. I'm only going to have one land. That's tough. That is not something you want to see out of your 4 mana search lands sorcery. Yeah, that's tough. That is quite tough. I'm just drawing some cards. Zero Paragon, sure. They have planes in their graveyard. But how'd they get in there again? Celestis discard, okay. Yeah. Put his hands played on. Maybe we should have kept the Titania. Not sure. Problem is here we're low on green, so even if we get like this Cartographer Survey, we can't do anything with it. But I think that means we're gonna just play this Joint Exploration right now. See what we can hit. Awaken the Woods and Overgrown Farmland. Can't really cast Awaken the Woods right now. Guess we're going bottom for both of those. Broker's Hideout. I think we just want to get something back where we can, and that something will be another Cartographer Survey, I think. Opponent's tapped out. Shouldn't be having any priority stick. Not really sure why that would be. Probably just playing with full control. So this next turn we can play a Titania and then a Cartographer Survey. If we draw an untapped green, man, we're really limited on the green in this deck. Not really sure what our opponent's up to. Obviously, they discarded another plane, so they're getting good value off this Paragon. Drawing cards galore with everything. I just don't know what their finishing spells are. If they have counter magic, we'll be looking pretty rough. But if we can get our stuff going eventually, I feel pretty good about what's going on. Yeah, we're gonna need to get a green with this Broker's Hideout. We don't untap draw one. Opponent's gonna probably bin more things they can get back with the Paragon. They already used their Paragon this turn though, I believe, so not getting anything back now. Another Bankbuster, sure. Gonna get in for 3. Makes sense. Another Argoth. Well, we don't have... Oh, it's not the first Argoth, I guess. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna play this, How many lands are in our graveyard? 0. The fact that we can still only play one spell this turn is just brutal. Yeah, I think we're just gonna get Forest. Get the Titania down. And wait for our opponent to kill it. If they'll lay down arms or anything. I mean, they have to have removal. They've drawn so many cards. And Titania's probably not long for this world, but yeah, that's what we're going with right now. Draws a card. Yep, Mightstone, Weakstone. Killing our Titania. Little did they know we have a backup one. Opponent's getting in for 7. Gallic Greeters, huh? Yeah, definitely getting the Greeters down, and then this Titania. Opponent cycles, okay. I'm not gonna get another creature this turn. How big is this treasure gonna be? I don't think it's gonna matter that much at all. Life might matter, so I guess we'll go that direction. And Hargoth going and try to hit lands off of this. Another only one land. Ooh, wow, we are up against it this game. Cartographer's Survey looking 7 deep and only getting a land, one land each time is. We've been so punished this game. Oh, sure. Fairy all day. Okay, so I think we're going to be milling and making boars next turn. If they attack with a Bankbuster, honestly, I think we're going to block with the Gallic Greeters. We still need another green to make the boars twice. It's kind of tough. Okay, that's a lot of creatures we can get going. Yeah, I guess we'll just do this for 8. If it gets countered, this game's probably over, but this is what we got going on. Opponent has a blue mana up. It would have to be a negate or something. Cycles. Maybe they have a Spell Pierce in their deck. Gain the life. Make the treasure. Throw the Gallic Greeters. So now we have a formidable board at least. Infinite mana. So it can attack though. Alright, so we have this Dryad Revival in our graveyard. Can get back a Cartographer's Survey. Try to get even more lands going. Could obviously get back to Awaken the Woods and really just go hog wild with the mana. Probably our best play. If they have a Wrath, would be sitting not good. Go block like this. I have to imagine our opponent has a Wandering Emperor or something going on. Oh, farewell, okay. Yeah, that'll do it too.
Who's that handsome devil?
Might still the weak stone. Keeping their new one. Opponent is just bullying us out of this game. They're gonna cycle, okay. Grows all their stuff. This Teferi is gonna be able to hit -12 at this rate eventually. Dryad's Revival. Yeah, I think we're just gonna get this Awaken the Woods and cast it. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make our opponent have another Wrath. Next turn, we're just going to do it again. Turn after that, we're going to do it again. Make a bunch of Awaken the Woods tokens. Opponent is going to have a Spirit and a Bank Buster that can attack next turn, but I think we're fine with that. I think we're going to take the damage this turn, set up for a big Awaken the Woods next turn, similar size, block, and then do it again. If we just draw Awaken the Woods, it's probably our best draw, to be honest. They exiled the Graveyard this time. Alrighty, that probably had enough. I mean, we'll stick around for a draw step, but we've probably had enough in this game. They're just bullying us. Still have 3 mana, 4 mana now. Can make the pilot and then crew. One just has an embarrassment of riches going on. They have almost as many lands as we do. They just have so many white cards. They had drew enough blue to be able to cast this Teferi. Yeah, GG's. Not getting through that. Dang, tough game already. Let's get to the deck tech. Might make some changes. Okay, and so we're in the deck here. I am going to change some cards. So I think the biggest thing that I see with this deck starting out is that we have 23 lands, and this is a deck completely featured around having lands. So you want lands at every turn, every point of the game. So honestly, I think you want to go up to, I'm going to say 27. You could even go higher, but the goal is to get up to 27 lands. And I'm going to do that by just upping the count of Spar's headquarters. And we're also going to get a Otawara in here. And to make room for that, we're going to cut the negates and the Cemetery Prowler. I think those are the cards that don't interact with our game plan that much. I think I want to go up on the Joint Exploration and going down on the Outland Liberator. I do think we're just going to cut Outland Liberator outright, get some more Wrenn and 6 action going on. And with the lands here, there's no, this Cartographer Surveys puts any 2 lands onto the battlefield. The only thing that really cares about basic lands is Kodama. And honestly, I might just take the Kodama out of the deck. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Kodama. I'm going to take all of these cards out of the deck and switch these lands out for lands that tap for more mana, or different colors of mana, like these Deserted Beaches. So I'm going to go up to 4 of each of these. And so that means I'm going to have to go down a couple of these. Needs still enough for the Broker's Hideout to find things. So I'm going to hit the Aganjo. You're playing Bant and you have these basic lands. I think it's probably free. This deck is not as free because we do need some amount of basic lands for these Broker's Hideouts, but I think this is a good amount. We'll have 7 basic lands for the Broker's Hideouts. Maybe that's a tad low. Yeah, that might be a tad low. I might, cut a, and the islands should be more prevalent. Don't need double blue ever, really, so same with this plains. Just have 1 of each that we can fetch with Broker's Hideout, but really this is a forest-based deck. 27 land still. Good there. Now I just need to add some cards to the deck. I kind of like the Broker's Ascendancy plan. Here, I'm gonna pause and think about what I want to do with the deck next. Okay, so I think I've decided I want Azusa's Many Journeys just as a way to ramp in on turn 2 as well. But to do that, I think you want a few more lands in the deck, actually. So I think I'm going to cut a Ascendancy or Destroy Evil. I think I'll cut 2 Destroy Evils to put even more lands in the deck, actually, if you can believe that. Go all the way up to, yeah, in the area of 29. And when we do that, I think you can run into places where you would run out of cards, essentially. So I am going to add some Silver Scrutiny just to sort of as a way to get back into the game if we're really low on lands. And from here, I think I'm going to max out on Wrenn and 6, or at least 3 Wrenn and 6. Let's see. So we have lots of lands, lots of way to get the lands. Do we need the Cartographer's Survey? Let me think. Yeah, so I think I'm going to cut the Cartographer's Survey for Topiary Stomper. And I think that's going to be the final addition to our deck here. I'm going to try it like this. I know it looks a lot different than the original deck, but I think it still, you know, harbors the original sentiment of the deck where we're going in on with Broker's Ascendancy, Tatyova, Slogurk, Titania, Joint Exploration, Awaken the Woods. It's still the core of the deck. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think I am going to switch out some of these lands, though. I don't remember what the names are, so let me... Yeah, Dreamroot Cascade, that's the name of the card. Since we're a green-blue deck, I think we want those first and foremost. And so to fit those in, we're just going to go down the Deserted Beach and the Farmland. It should still be at 29 lands. Yep, alrighty. That's the plan, I would say, of the deck. Hopefully, we can get there. Hopefully this improves the deck. If it doesn't improve the deck, I'll just point you towards the original version of the deck. But yeah, let's see if we can get there. Let's get into the matches. Okay, well, our opponent's going first, and we have lands to play. We'll keep it. We'll lead off on the Spar's headquarters. Opponent's on Mono Red might be a little tough. Mono Red's a matchup we're not really trying to face, I don't think. So I guess the plan is to next turn play this Joint Exploration, and then turn 3 Titania, maybe? Not really sure. Opponent has all of the spells here, okay. How important is this Joint Exploration? I don't actually think we need this Joint Exploration that much next turn, because we're going to play a creature. So I think we're better off playing this Broker's Hideout and getting a forest, gaining a life. Opponent has a Mechanized Warfare here. This game is over. Phoenix Chick, okay. It's not over yet, but it's not looking good. Lightning Strike, sure. Alright, down to 10. We have this Gaia, or Titania, that has reach at least. We can kill the Phoenix Chicks. I might leave them alone, honestly, because I don't want them to get them back. Next turn, though, we'll be able to Broker's Hideout and gain some life, which is nice. And then we can Odawara and put a land from our hand in the graveyard, gain some more life. Lightning Strikes the face, okay. Epicure, yep. Gonna block the Epicure. Take some damage. Play the Broker's Hideout. Gain some life. We want to force still. And so it's the legendary creature. So the Otawara costs, and so maybe we don't use it all. Just trying to think of what's the best play. So next turn, they're probably going to draw a relevant spell. Yeah, I think we have to. So we played our land per turn. So yes, we could Otawara or we could Beseiju. We can't do two of anything unless we. Yeah. I think we're just going to be on the Otawara plan. That's all we got, I think. Gain some life that way. Opponent can blood away some cards in their hand for value. Bloods away a Kamano Faces Kakazan. Interesting, okay. Goes for the lightning strike, sure. And we're going to turn this Phoenix Chick to their hand, so I have to cast it next turn. Gain some life, and we're also going to block the Epicure. Got an island, okay. Tatyova for another blocker, I would think, and then keep the Beseiju up. Yeah. To gain some life. I think that's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. I think we're at the point where... Oh. Okay. One going in on us. When it's attacking. So yeah, I think we're blocking like this. Yep. Gonna take two. And yeah, I think we should Beseiju one of these right now. Gain some life. Hopefully we draw a Broker's Hideout, gaining some even more life next turn. Opponent can play the Phoenix Trick, but it's close combat, so we're fine with that. So opponent is going to get to squee next turn. And we're still alive through that right now. So we can make... Does this untap a land? No. So we make 3 Awaken the Woods tokens. So we're going to have multiple blockers. And now they have flying as well. Really, we're hoping to avoid direct removal. Make them 3/3s. Yeah, we could cast Stomper, but not right now. Does our opponent want to blood away this Phoenix Chick? I probably would if I was them, seeing what's going on here. Opponent needs a direct damage removal spell. Direct damage spell. They need lightning strike. They've already used a few of them though, because this squee, they're going to be able to cast it, but it's not going to be able to do enough damage. We have a lot of blockers here. We just need a way to gain some life, get some lands into the graveyard. Okay, they do go with the squee. We're fine with that. They attack, we're blocking their whole board. They know that, so they're not attacking. So we have some options here. We can play multiple spells here. We just are really afraid of just dying straight up. Broker's Hideout was a good draw. We'll take that. Do I want to play Slogurk first? Probably. Make this Islands a 3/3. Get a forest. No, I get a plains actually. And make plains a forest 3/3. We could play the Stomper, but I think we'd rather just have all this back, especially because they have flying, so we'll pass the turn. We're at 6 life, which is a lot better than we were. If they had a lightning strike, they would have used the last turn. Drew a land. Reckless Impulse. That's a good draw. Another Reckless Impulse. Okay. Play with fire, sure. Man, it's going to be tough out here. I didn't think we'd be having a chance against mono red, but that's where we're at. See if they put it on top. They need something that deals 4 damage, so I don't know what they can find. Put it on top, whatever it was. So Phoenix Chick can't block. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 15 in the air. This Topiary Stomper, 15 in the air. And then they could block everything on the ground. Well, they can't. No, they couldn't. I think we're lethal with this Topiary Stomper, actually. We'll do the math again, but... So they can't block here with Phoenix Chick. They have no ways to gain life. They have 2 blocks they can make here. Say they block, yeah, our Slogurk and their Titania. If we attack for 3, 6, 9, 18. Topiary Stomper gets on the battlefield. Searches for a basic land. Gives the other land of these 3. And we give it 3/3 elemental status. And I think that's the plan. Okay. You know, I'm down for this. I'm down for this. Let's see what our opponents. They're in the tank. I'll let them be in the tank. Okay, so it looks like our opponent is just completely salty roping us. Imagine being a mono red player and salty roping when your opponent's playing Tatyova and just getting the beat downs on you. I mean, sheesh, David. That's our opponent's name. That's a little bit ironic, isn't it? Saltly roping with mono red. Dang. GG's. That's when you know you got him. That's when you know you got him. All right, so our opponent has kept their hand of 7. We're going to keep this hand. I'm going to lead on the overgrown farmlands and then turn 2 play this Azusa's Many Journeys if we can. But it's on mono blue, so they might have something to say about that. With this Broker's Hideout. I think we're getting a forest. See what our opponent plays. They haven't played anything yet. Gaining some life. So kind of need more lands for this joint exploration. I think we'll pass and try to cast this joint exploration. We do have a likeness that's going to transform next turn, so I think we're going to... I think we'll pass. We'll let this resolve. I think we'll pass. Yeah, we'll let it resolve. See what they discard. Discarded a basic land. Okay, it's the only really action they've taken this game, though. See if they pass the end of their turn. Looks like they do. Cast this with a kicker, because why not? See if they counter it. Might be juicy enough they counter it. Put both those on the bottom. Okay. Not hitting lands, that's tough. I think that means we're going to join exploration. Really try to hit a land. So we can double spell this turn. Can't double spell with that land, but I think we just got to keep any land at this point. Can't be missing land drops here. Do I want to make a 1/1? Kind of feel like we do, actually. I know it's not that good, but it makes mana dork. 3-mana mana dork. Our opponent might feel like they should counter this. No, they're gonna impulse. Because if they know I'm this desperate for mana. Yeah, so next turn, we're gonna hope to get a Wrenn and 6 down or something. Fading Hope for our likeness. Okay. If they tap out this next turn, we will get to resolve the Wrenn and 6, which is pretty nice. It's tough right now. This is not exactly where I'm trying to be against mono blue. Kind of stumbled a little bit on our lands. We would have liked to have been in a place where we could have just been jamming Wrenn and 6 that turn or something, but it's not where we ended up. Definitely could return this to my hand. Drawn a card, okay. Land wasn't bad. I think we are going to try to cast this Wrenn and 6. If they have Make Disappear, they'll have to sack their Channeler. Could just have Negate, though. Okay, we're going to auto pay. Fine by us. Try to get all the lands in our hand. Wow. 29 lands in the deck, and we just completely whiffed with the Wrenn and 7. Yikes. Yikes, okay. Next turn, we hope to plus the Wrenn and 7 and get a bunch of lands and dump them with the Azusa's Many Journeys. Nice thing is we have 7 lands on the battlefield if they don't remove our Forest Dryad, so these Tatyova will start making lands for us. So they're going to remove it. Having a Wrenn and 6 on the battlefield is nice, though. Tolarian Terror, sure. Titania. I think the first thing we're going to do is plus, see if we can hit a bunch of lands. Finally, okay. Get the Tatyova going. Get the Azusa, some Many Journeys down. Opponent could definitely counter this. If they do, yep, that's okay. If they do, we're gonna play this Broker's Hideout. Make this land a 3/3. They have another Fading Hope. Looks like they do, okay. Fading Hopes galore for our opponent. We're going to get a Forest here. And since we have another Tatyova in their Legendary, we're definitely going to block this Wrenn and 7. Block the Tolarian Terror to save the Wrenn and 7. Put some lands into play. Opponent's looking for another Fading Hope. Any way they can to get this Wrenn and 7 off the battlefield. Yeah, have to block the Tolarian Terror here. Okay. Try to get this Tatyova down again. Okay. Overgrown farmland down. Make this a Gonjo 3/3. Do we want a plus on this Wrenn and 7? or minus get these, or 0 and get these other 2 lands into play. I think we kind of want to 0 it. And just make some more 3/3s. Start blocking this way. Get a forest. And make the Overgrown Farmland a 3/3. And get in with 2 of them. Go ahead and pass. Opponent has to be worried about dying now. Flow of Knowledge, sure, it's their whole hand. See how they attack. Fading Hopes or Tatyova, okay. Definitely gonna double block here. Sure. So yeah, the first thing we want to do is plus. Let's Wrenn and Seven, see what we hit. So we're gonna do that anyway. See what we have. Hit a bunch of lands and GG. Oh, I'll take that. Take it down mono blue, baby. Lots of lands. Lots of smiles from me. GG's. Let's head to the wrap up. All right, we're back with the wrap up, and I really liked how the deck performed after we made the changes. I think but before we made the changes, it was still a good deck. But I think the biggest thing is you really just want a bunch of lands. I think in this style of deck, the more lands you have, the better. You just have so many land synergies. Tatyova, the more lands you have, the more the game just ends. You saw us Tatyova-ing with the Wrenn and Seven. That last game all over mono blue, just dumping our hand, making tons of 3/3s, which your opponent couldn't get through. Titania is good in that situation too, because then if you have the Tatyova and the Titania is on the battlefield, you gain life when it goes to the graveyard. And then once you have all those lands in the graveyard, and you also have this Titania and the Argoth, then you get just the melded version, Titania Gaia Incarnate, which we didn't get to do, but if you played this deck enough, you certainly would be able to do it. And that would return all the lands from the graveyard to the battlefield tap, get all your triggers with Tatyova going, and also just would be just a huge Vigilance, Reach, Trample, Haste creature with the ability to make lands even bigger. So I think that was really pretty cool part of the deck. I think Slogurk also is very synergistic with the deck, with getting +1/+1 counters when you put lands. It just gets absolutely huge. And if once enough land cards die, and you remove 3 counters from it, you can return it to his hand. But when Slogurk leaves the battlefield, whether you return it to your hand or whether it dies, you get to return those lands from the graveyard to your hand. So pretty good all the way around, honestly. I think maybe even it's gonna be tough because maybe with the mana base, but I think maybe the best version of this deck even cuts Broker's Ascendancy, cuts white altogether, and plays Broker's Hideout, and also plays the other, I think there's another green-blue, I'll search Hideout. I think there's another green-blue Hideout. Was this the only one named? Okay, well, hold on, let me go pull up a list. Okay, I lied to y'all. There definitely isn't another Broker's Hideout type effect that gets both green and blue, but you could definitely add one that gives green, cut the white altogether, add some more blue sources that aren't tied to Broker's Hideout. Get rid of these overgrown farmlands and deserted beaches, make them into forests and islands or whatever you're feeling. Maybe some green-blue duals that enter battlefield tapped, but also another Broker's Hideout type effect where you get, if you go up to a full 8 of these, you can get a lot of lands in the graveyard that way. And then you have to have obviously more basic lands and stuff. You have to balance out the mana base. That's the thing. Usually mana bases, you just kind of an afterthought, but mana base is probably one of the most important aspects of this deck. The exact amount of lands you have and whatnot. So I think if you're really trying to master this deck, I would go something around this 29 lands. I think felt really good in our games, and then maybe if you wanted to cut wide and then tinker with the mana base to have a little more islands, a little more forests, whatever tinkering you feel like is correct. But the deck was a blast to play. Thank you, M. Balrog, for submitting it, and it's just I just love the Titania, Slogurk, Tatyova style deck. Really a fun time playing it. Every time I play a style of deck like this, I think the original version is definitely playable, but I think you're gonna have a harder time hitting all the land drops you want. And I think you know, some of the like the Mana Dork and the Gallagrators and the Kadama and the Cemetery Prowler, those are all good cards. Like you know, those are just cards that are in a vacuum good. But I'm not sure they fit the theme of the deck as well, the land theme. I know Golly Greeters with Awaken the Woods, you know, you get all the triggers, but or with Tatyova, you get all the triggers. But I think there's more powerful synergies you could be doing. And you know, with the treasure token, I think you'd just rather play extra lands with the Azusa's many journeys than have a treasure token around. Having 29 lands lets you do that. You can even see we got stuck on lands in some of the games that we played, even with the 29 lands. I mean, it's crazy. The downside of a strategy like this, how I've built it, is with 29 lands in your deck, there are games you just will only draw lands. Like, it'll feel like that's the only thing in your deck. But I think that's more than balanced out by the rest of the times where you'll have a nice balanced draw and you'll just have a pretty powerful game plan, and you'll be asking your opponent if they can answer it. But yeah, you saw us beat mono red. I don't know if that on the draw even. I don't know if that would happen that often, but I think it would happen even more if you had the other sacrifice lands, you know, like the other hideout type lands, seem to be getting more life, especially with Titania. I could definitely see, you know, going to 3 copies of Titania, 3 copies of Topiary Stomper. The reason I went 4 on this because it's not a legendary creature. But if you really are about that meld plan, you could definitely go up on the Titania. But yeah, a lot of fun playing this deck. I actually think this deck is pretty good. The matches can take a while, and you're not going to be favored against everything. Like, I wouldn't really want to play a farewell deck. That's why I think M. Balrog originally had negate in this deck, because they correctly identified that it's really hard to beat a farewell with this deck. I mean, getting your graveyard that all your lands just went to exiled, plus all your land creatures exiled, it's tough. So Wrenn and Seven does a little bit of work in that way to not get exiled by farewell. I guess just a planeswalker, right? So I think you know, putting a lot of lands on, having a Wrenn and Seven helps a little bit in the farewell matchups, but it's gonna be hard to resolve. You can see we did resolve when he's mono blue, but I think a better mono blue player, or someone who maybe knew more about the style of deck that we were playing, would have held up counter spells, and I think they would have won that game had they countered the Wrenn and Seven. But I had a lot of fun. I mean, I feel like I'm rambling at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video. Thank you again, M. Balrog 6, for submitting it. And if you want your deck to be played on the channel, submit it in the Google Form sheet down below. We're getting low on decks, actually. I think I only have a couple more in the queue that I feel like are video worthy that I'm going to go play. So please submit more decks. Cool deck ideas like this, I'm very much a fan of. If you'd like this deck, you'll probably like our last deck. The last deck, Grixis Saheeli Anvil. So go ahead and check that video. You can see it on your screen now. And until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.